briefings, updates with you all during the course of this construction project. And with all of you assembled here today, we just thought we'd taken the opportunity to give you a chance to ask some questions. Obviously, the first question everybody asks, wherever any of us are, and even if they just asked this 5 minutes before, they want to know, is it going to be ready on time? And of course, when we started this project, we didn't give the contractor any alternative. It had to be ready when our first game occurs on September 10th, our first home game, that is, of course. And the project has been going very, very well. There's a lot to do, and they're making every chance possible to get as much work done in a day and a night as one can. If you think about what this project has been since we broke ground, it's truly amazing. I don't even want to engage in any kind of hyperbole about the magnitude of this project, but just to refresh your memories, we broke ground last August. And of course, we were able to get some work done around the football season in 2015, but the majority of the work started as soon as the Kansas State game was complete. So I have Larry Nafee. You all know Larry. I'm my executive associate AD, and I want to give Larry a lot of credit because we've been all in these meetings. He's been in way more meetings than any of us. There have been meetings several times a day in certain cases, but obviously we've been meeting once or twice or more each week since the end of the regular season. And there's so many details that have to be addressed during the course of this project because they need decisions, and they need them right when the construction managers ask for them. And so between our staff, which has included several others, and of course coordinating with a lot of the key users of the facility, getting their input as we go along, whether it's something related to the structural aspect or something is down to the detail of what chair we're going to put in what room, and when are the shipments going to arrive, and how that gets logistically handled. It's an enormous task, and I can't say it enough, but I'm so fortunate, the university's fortunate, to have such great people that have dedicated an enormous amount of their time to make this project happen when we set the date of September 10th. So Larry's here to answer any other kind of questions you might have about some of the details. So
what is
with
the
that,
new capacity? What is the new
it
capacity?
is 83,489. 83,489.
And that's a change of what, Joe?
Of
What was
about
it?
15 to 1,800. It's there's a reconfiguration, if you will. Keep in mind, some of the seats in the south end zone were bench seats originally, so we took out about 35% of the south end zone and reconstructed the new end zone around it. And then there is a process called overpour, for lack of I've learned a few. I wonder how many can spell fenestration. Probably not many. But we had to change the dynamics of the tread width of the seating grid, so part of that south end zone could handle club seats, and you had plenty of leg room. So the overpour was concrete over the existing surface.
Joe, didn't you schedule the Houston game on the road because of the timetable of finishing this project?
In part, yes, but keep in mind, we hadn't yet determined the exact staging of the construction project when we scheduled that game. We were using some speculation in our own minds of what could happen if we were able to start a renovation process in the stadium. So we intentionally scheduled a road game this particular year. And actually, you know, it was also consistent with the opportunity that we had to not only fill out this schedule, but, you know, create the home and home with the University of Houston. They come back to Norman in 2019.
As far as the outside with the entrance, will that all be finished too, or is it just the inside that'll be finished?
That's a great question, and a lot of people driving by on Jenkins or Lindsay take a look at the outside and they're trying to gauge whether or not the stadium will be complete. That's not our core concern. The core concern obviously are the seating areas, the suites, the loge boxes, the club seats, the bench seating, all of the concourses, the restrooms, the concession stands, all the fan amenities, and the access points to allow fans to easily move in and out of the stadium. So those have been the focus. As the season goes along, they'll see more and more of the external area be complete. And of course, there's other construction going on within the envelope of the south end zone that allow our football team to move into the facilities, some parts of it starting in February.
Where, I mean, when you say access points, is it, where will they be, like in the corners?
There are the gates that were there previously. There's different construction around those gates. If you can see here on the east side, some of the walkways being poured now, so you get an idea of how that's changed. Same on the west side. There are actually some escalators in there to allow people to move easier and transition from one level to another. Of course, additional stairways and elevators. And in the north end, we will be using some of the elevators, even though part of the north end won't be finished until next spring. And those elevators are dedicated for the club seats and the suite areas. So we'll have specific ingress and egress points in the south end, I should say, right here, that even though the outside of the building may not look complete, the elevators will be operable.
Have there been
Joe.
setbacks of,
The gates themselves, so gate 1 will be restored back to gate 1.
Okay.
And then gates 11 and 12 that have always been here in the southeast corner will be restored back to the same configuration as they were 2 years ago. Once inside the stadium, the pathways changed a bit, but those gates will be open and ready to go.
have there been setbacks of any kind that police have had to kind of overcome?
Actually, I would say nothing that was of any serious consequence. A project of this magnitude, it's always going to have some challenge, something that we didn't expect, but because we have such skilled people on this project, a good number of our managers, particularly